There they go into the back. The blue line on. We have a race, and Satnova's beaten Pure Steel out by a length and a half.
Welcome to Talking Trots, hosted by Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
The sensational Sydney sider, Seals to Sam, comes off the back straight. He's a bucket load of alliteration, this fellow.
Scott Bomber Hill will join the boys to look at the Friday night meeting at Gloucester Park.
Here comes Quinny. I'm the mighty Queen is 4 deep and letting go.
Sit back and enjoy Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
I'm the mighty Queen is just in front. Dasher VC can do no more. And the West Australian champion has done it again.
Yes, hello and welcome to another big edition of Talking Trots. What an action-packed night of racing it was last Friday night. We'll have a few replays from there and dissect a few races. But more importantly, we'll deep dive into some races and see if we can find you a few winners with our man Scott Bomber Hill and Ollie Cownie as well. Morts, as I welcome you in the program, a couple of really special guests tonight in Bob Mellsop and the big cat, Matt Leppard, is coming on. But wasn't an action-packed night last Friday night?
The sparks were flying, Michael. Certainly were. And good evening. Good to be here.
Great to have you here.
After we had real job last week,
yes,
so we had to have a break.
Did.
But no, it's good to be back, and it was a big night last Friday night. Interesting night. Kind of the August Cup there. A great win by Menemsha, came from virtually last.
Yeah.
Tracked a few into the race and got up at $91 for young Joey Savelko. So that was an outstanding effort. But boy, there was some fireworks in that race,
wasn't there?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was. It was no place for the faint-hearted out there. But I mean, sitting back and looking at it, like it's set up for a great race, and what a performance from Magnificent Storm to fight on like he did. And yeah, it was sets up for, there's over here. There's no easy lead for anyone.
No, there's not. And look, it was probably a painful watch if you're on Mighty Ronaldo, because you knew that that brick wall was going to come out in front of him somewhere, and it did. The swoopers were there, so once about halfway through the race, I started barracking for rolling pikes. I thought, well, this has got to be set up beautifully for him, and it was. And
had every chance.
Every possible, but Menemsha got up and scored for Joey Savelko, so great win. Amazing run by Magnificent Storm.
Yeah.
He's certainly back, and that was a huge run. And it was an interesting race.
2,500 metre racing is great here at Gloucester Park, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly
Those
is.
big races. Yeah.
Particularly when they go hard early, because it just set it up for the back markers, and you could just see that anything from the back was going to have a last crack at them, and Menemsha did, and Joey Savelko, great drive, and another big race for Aidan DeCampo.
Yeah, indeed. Hasn't he had a week?
He's had an amazing week. Not just amazing week, but stable is absolutely firing, and this time of year with those young horses, just gets them going.
Indeed.
Gets them going. Great group of owners, and
big group of owners. He's already booked one of the enclosures for W night.
I'm not surprised.
I don't know whether we've got enough room for him, because how many? He's going to have probably a dozen horses, is he?
He's going to have a fair few
in the group races.
Yeah, absolutely. So have a big group of followers there, but no, his stable's absolutely firing. Menemsha, who was scratched twice before getting to the track, and that was a super effort. So,
first up in that class.
Well done to Aidan. It's an interesting night of racing, as we said. Solid run race in the first. Gave Dylan the chance to put Naze Vera in the race at the right time and proved to good. Good drive by Dylan. Sound Wave for Tom Nally. Finished too strong to get up and score on the line. And Travel Ban got the early lead and provided Cat Warwick with a great exit from harness racing after 32 years, Michael.
Yeah, going to concentrate on thoroughbreds.
Yeah.
Got one or two, definitely one.
Yep.
So, interesting to see how she goes there. But obviously had a number of good horses.
Certainly did.
Over the time here.
And spent some time in the USA as well, and trained and did was very successful there. Yep. So after 32 years, she bows out to go to the Gallop. So a loss for harness racing, but I would imagine all the horses will just be dispersed over the next couple of weeks.
Oh, I think they've been scaling back their operation anyway, so yeah.
And Dark Eyes finally broke a long losing streak to score an all-the-way win. Manemsha we've spoken about. Cold hard cash for Aiden, managed to get off the rails at the bell, like Aiden can, and got up to score. Then You Came Along was never troubled throughout. Cam's Boulder, that was a good drive by Ryan Warwick.
Yep.
Just kept pushing and got to the front and did enough to score. Star Lily led and won, just. And Sun Publisher, that was a great first up win in the last. 3 wide middle stages, then in the breeze. Very tough win first up. So great win there for Sun Publisher. A training double for Aidan DeCampo on Friday night and a driving double for Shannon Savelko. Also at Friday night, we were racing at Northern. It was a training double to Peter Anderson and a driving treble to our man Cody Waldrop.
Yeah. Good work.
Been doing very well, Cody. Monday at Pinjarra was a training double to Justin Prentice and Dylan Edgerton Green, and it was a driving double to Gary Hall Jr. and Dylan Edgerton Green. Tuesday at GP was dominated by Aidan.
Yep.
Once again with a training treble and a driving double. So good night of pacing on Tuesday night at Gloucester Park, Michael. With the heats was really good. So
yeah, he almost made a clean sweep of the Colts. The 2 winners and in the third heat, 2 place getters behind Ideal Beach. So yeah, and obviously he's got the best filly.
Yeah, he certainly does, by a mile.
It won't matter what the barrier draw is, she'll start.
I wouldn't think so,
favourite, but the Colts is a little bit more open.
Yeah, I think the Colts is as you said, is a lot more open, but certainly the fillies, she was dominant again and just coached along, and she just puts ground on them so quickly and so easily.
Yeah,
just doesn't, because there's not much of her.
No, but she's certainly the benchmark for the fillies. And then you had a good day at Pinjarra on Monday.
Yeah, it was a great day, really good day. Ruby Lavera was a nice strong win, and the other bloke went a bit better than I thought he might.
Good drive by Junior.
Great drive.
Only went around 1 horse in the end.
Yeah, but no, it was a great drive, and it was a good day.
Might have owed you one from Friday night. Does the heat count? As I said to him after Ideal Beach, you're only as good as your last drive.
That happens, but it was a good day at Pinjarra, and it was terrific out here on Tuesday night. A little bit nippy.
Oh, jeez, hasn't it been cold?
But it was a good night.
Tell you it was really good. You mentioned Dylan had a double on Monday. Captain Sterling was fantastic.
He was
in the 3-year-old heat, beating Lazy Days.
Now, Captain Sterling, if I remember,
he's well related.
As a 2-year-old, ran an incredible split
in his qualifying trial.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he ran
26, something.
Yes.
And we thought, whoa, and then he just didn't quite put it all together, but was very impressive.
He's a half to the very good Bettor's Destroyer.
Oh well, it says it all.
Yeah. Was she very good? Maybe. She was okay. Well, what a Group 3.
You can see where the talent went from that family.
Yeah.
It was very impressive.
Yeah,
very impressive.
It was a good performance at Pinjarra Monday. Now we're talking about Informed Stables. Our first guest tonight, Bob Mellsop. I don't think we mentioned a trainer more than we did Bob last time we were here.
Unreal. His strike rate for the season, Michael, is for the current season is 26% win on all tracks, and even at Gloucester Park, it's 17%. Just going absolutely terrific, Bob. So looking forward to having a chat with him.
Well, he's got 3 horses in tomorrow night. Safer was a really good performance first up.
Was terrific.
Really good. Made a sustained run. Good Time Lewis has been going well. And Heavenly Wage, this horse put 3 on end together before racing in an unsuitable race. He's in the Greg Richardson member since 2013 pace on Friday night. Drawn the outside in a tough field, but the way she's been going, you couldn't say that she's out of it. And just before we get Bob on the line, let's go back a couple of starts to one of those 3 wins, and this was probably the most impressive win for Heavenly Wage.
Ted, joined out wider by Grievous and Heavenly Wage, and Soho Vespel into the Tab Touch sprint lane. Heavenly Wage, though, had raced up very strongly, gone to the front and comes away, Heavenly Wage. Heavenly Wage cruising down to the lines, won by 2 lengths.
Yeah, Heavenly Wage going very well at the moment, and so is her trainer, Bob Mellsop, who joins us on the line. Bob, welcome to the program.
Cheers, thanks very much. Pleasure to be here.
Mate, we mentioned it on the last time we were on the show of how well you're going, and you must be enjoying it at the moment. You're having so much success all over the place.
Yeah, we're probably not having as good a percentage-wise this year. We're down on last year, but we've still got 4 months, whatever it is, to go now. But we've been a lot more predominant in the city this year, and I think we can continue to be so, which is, where you get probably more recognition.
Well, Bob, you've had 629 wins, and you talk about your winning percentage. At all tracks so far this year, it's 26% the win and 22% the place, which is an amazing strike rate. And even at Gloucester Park, 17% the win and 17% the place. So, got to be.
And we're actually behind last year.
Yeah, so last year was a ripper, but, we just keep seeing your name bob up, so you must be really happy with it.
Yeah, you've got to do something to make it worth getting out of bed. We haven't had a day off for years and a holiday for even longer. But, it's good. It's very rewarding, and a lot of people that have been with me a long time deserve the success probably more than I do.
You've had a lot of success over the journey, and I was really interested looking at some of the success you had with a couple of the square gators. One in particular was Hold That Gold, who only had 3 wins in 28 starts in Victoria, and came over here and won 13 times for yourself out of first 21 starts.
Yeah, lovely horse. We ended up retiring him. He was considered him to be in a bit of a trickler, but we paid, I think it was 18,000 for him, and he won close on 120. So with no complaints, we found a good home for him, and he's loving life up in Dwellingup.
And he did very well for you, but I believe he's not the best square gator you've had.
No, I think Lord Liam would take that. Richard Matthews, he's not here anymore, Richard. I won a lot of races with Lord Liam, and he hurt himself, and we put him out in the paddock. I was on 100 acres then in Maroona, and I deregistered him, and nobody wanted him. So because it was costing me nothing, I left him down the back paddock, and after 12 months, I rang Richard and said, look, I want to put him back in work. And Richard said, look, I've got too many, you can have him. Make sure you give Johnny some. He came back and, long story short, he won 8 straight, I think, and he about 98 grand. And he was just a lovely old horse. I retired him. I think he finished in the first 3, something like 35 runs in a row. And even when I retired him, his last 2 runs were 4th. But he'd done his job, and he probably would have won more, but he'd earned a good home, and he got one as well.
You buy a lot of horses from interstate. The 3 you got in Friday night all came from interstate rather than New Zealand. How do you source them? Do you just watch every race, or do you have someone tipping to you that there's a horse might be available? How do you source the horses?
I've got a spy.
Always helps to have one.
When I was training for the boys that had our Malabar Smoking Up and Co., they had about found their horses for him, Steve, and he's had shocking health, and I never heard from him for years and years, and I used to keep in touch with his mum, and he's still got shocking health, and he used to source horses years and years ago for Vic Frost and Co., and we got back in contact, and we still are now, and he just studies things. He doesn't work anymore because of his health being so bad, but he's a very, very good judge of a horse, and he's got certain boxes they've got to tick, certain trainers you don't buy off, and it's sort of worked quite well.
Yeah, well, they seem to do, coming off, not average form, but they're not setting the world afire, but you get them over here and they seem to do really good jobs once you get them here.
Yeah, well, the good part about it is if they're no good, I blame them.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the 3, as I said, the 3 you've got in on Friday night all come from over east, and we heard from Heavenly Wage. She's done a really good job. She came from my old neck of the woods in Newcastle, Maitland type of area from Gerard Osborne. She's going well. The barrier draw got you again on Friday night.
Life at the moment.
Barrier 9.
Yeah, but it's only a 9-horse field,
yeah.
So that'll help.
it does help. And she's
he's
he.
Oh, look, I'd love to sell him. He's done a huge job, but man alive, he's a very challenging horse. I've never had a horse like him. I keep telling him I'm the only friend he's got in the world, and he's not allowed to bite, scratch, or pull hair, and he does the whole lot. But he has done a very, very good job. And Jerry's daughter still keeps in touch with me to see. I think she's the one that ruined him. She spoiled him. And you've got to watch him. He kicked me in the leg the other day. But he sort of came over, and when the one lap races came out, he just went, wow, this is my go. And he sort of got labelled a short distance horse. And up to a mile, you can do whatever you like with him. It doesn't worry him. He'll sit wide. But he's no slouch over 2100 if you don't use him early. Okay. He can, and the more speed on, the quicker he'll come home.
And he didn't have much luck last start, though. He struggled to...
I think he sort of threw the toys out of the pram at the top of the straight when he got pushed out.
Right, okay.
He can be a little bit like that, but he won the previous three, so we'll let him off.
Yeah. It's a pretty open field. Just looking here, we're looking at about $3.50 the favourite. So are we any chance from out there in the barrier 9?
Oh, without doubt. Then I'll just drag him back, put him to sleep, and hope they go crazy up front. The quicker they go up front, the better it'll be for him. If they don't run home so quick, he'll steam home.
Yeah, okay. Looks to be a bit of pace, so hopefully that could be the case. And earlier on in race 5, you've got Safer, which is second up for you. Was good last start. Never gave it away, and it was first up for you here in the state. Drawn barrier 7. Favourite on the inside for the Michael Young stable is Lincoln Lou. How did Safer pull up after that first run, Bob?
Yeah, really good. Denny felt he should have won. We had a Murphy blind on him, fully closed. We've cut that in half, which I don't know whether it's considered a gear change or not, and I've changed just quite a bit on him. Then sort of he got to the top of the straight and wanted to run out, and he possibly should have won. Don't get me wrong, we were more than happy to run second, and he's pulled up super. He's no star track worker. Good Time Louis cleaned him up on the track this week. And good Time Louis, he's flying. Well, no doubt we'll get to him, but yeah, couldn't be happier with Safer. He's a lovely horse. He's had very little racing, and I think he's got a big future here.
And Safer is a form of karate, Michael, just in case you wanted to, just in case you...
Yeah, I've heard all sorts of stories on his name. I don't care what they call him.
No, if they call him first, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
And
I'm undecided tomorrow. Very seriously thought about pinning him up. He's got real good gate speed. I'm not saying he can cross, but if we use him, he might be able to tuck into a hole somewhere. That's Denny's job.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And if it doesn't work out, you can blame her.
Exactly. You've always got to blame someone.
In race number 8, Good Time Louis, badly held up. Probably the last couple of runs. Get a very nice
3 out of his last 5.
Get a very nice draw, but also do strike a horse in very good form in Copycat Queen for the Aidan de Campo camp. How do we see Good Time Louis going tomorrow night, Bob?
Yeah, look, he's flying. Couldn't be happier with him, and everything's in his favour. He's got real good gate speed. I don't know whether he would have been better maybe in 3 or 4, but we've got 1, so we definitely won't complain after having 3 10s and no runs for 3 of his last 5. But you've got to respect Copycat Queen. Bricky's Dream gets out pretty quick too.
Yep.
But we'll be trying to hold up. And he'll run 154, no problem at all. If they can get over him, well, good luck to them.
Absolutely. So out of the 3, which one would be your best tomorrow night, Bob?
Oh, I think slowly on draws, Glenn, probably Good Time Louis.
Okay.
But if Safer happened to lob up in the first half dozen, he's a seriously nice horse.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, that's...
And Denny's driving all 3. She's your main driver, Bob, but you give the juniors plenty of a go?
Always have, yeah. I've always given the girls... I like the girls look after your horse, they don't knock them round. And don't get me wrong, I've had a lot of the blokes who've driven winners for me too, even juniors driven winners for me. But, Denny's driven... We're not quite sure yet. It's got to be that close to 100 winners for me over a long, long period of time. And she's a great kid.
Yeah,
she's not a kid anymore. I think she's 30 next birthday. I shouldn't say that on the radio. Keep it a secret.
There's not too many driving better than Denny Roberts, that's for sure. So
she's come a long way, Dan, and she's just such a good kid and very helpful with the horses.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big thing. All right, Bob, really appreciate. Hang on. Mort's got one more.
Down at Bunbury, I know coming up later in the year, the New Year's Eve is a big event for Bunbury Trots. Anything else happening down there, Bob, in the lead up to that?
Oh, there's all sorts of things happening, Glenn. They're doing a great job. I'm on the committee, but I consider myself the weakest link. But Sarah and Tracy Mezzamini, they've done a huge job to turn this club around, and we're going to have a real big New Year's Eve. Yeah,
it's great. Really, really good.
They're doing a great job. It's family orientated. I just sort of got back from Bunbury, out from Pinjarra, the new water truck we've got. We've got spray bars and things put on it, and I've gone up and picked it up today, and
good.
I turned it off and ended up stuck halfway between here and Pinjarra because I couldn't get it to start, but we sussed the problem out. But no, the Bunbury Trotting Club's, they're doing a great job, and the promotion-wise, for free.
No, doing a really good job, so hopefully...
Got great supporters, including Retrovision, I believe.
Yeah, plenty of red down there, plenty of red.
I think you might be right. And the last thing I've got to ask you, Bob, how's the scooter riding going?
Oh, I fly. I've had 5 stolen out of 10. Oh, it might be 6 now.
Well, it keeps us in business, Bob, so that's okay.
Oh, Retrovision's done all right out of it, yeah. And look, they've looked after us too, as you know, Glenn, and we very much appreciate that. We've just put in a new kitchen. But we have a lot of fun on those scooters, and I took the granddaughters out the other day. We go up the local cemetery and we don't get disturbed, and nobody's ever complained, but one of them often broke a wrist. So I've come off twice, both times right in front of Sarah Wall, so I copped it there. But no, they're great fun. We haven't got scooters that go 100 kilometres an hour, but 25's plenty fast enough if you're trying to run alongside it because you've lost balance. I'm nearly 70 now, but that's only a number.
Yes,
it is.
No,
I ride this electric scooter to the stables every morning, every night, and we get a few looks.
That's great. And Bob, you're doing a great job. And I know one of a fellow owner in one of my horses is very, very happy.
I know who you're talking about.
You've got a couple. You got Big Russ. You've got Murray Butterworth. Always talks you up.
Yep.
Our man Timmy.
Murray's run syndicates for me for years and years and years. He opens up bank accounts for me, and I pay him a small wage. I can't give him too much. He's not short. And it does. It takes a lot of that side of it off me.
Yep.
And Murray's been with me for years and years and years.
And that's great.
And Tim Gossage. He loves it.
Goss,
Tim's good value. Unfortunately, Gully Gum's in the paddock for 3 months, but he'll come back better and better.
You'll have to get him another one.
Yeah, good luck with that. It's very hard to get it out of. He loves Gully Gum, so
he does.
He does. He's very good at promoting.
It was great. It was great vision the night he won. Was it Bunbury where he won, and Tim was watching it in the Optus Stadium while he's calling the Dockers.
Yeah, I think it might have been Bunbury.
Yeah, it was. It was good.
Yeah,
it's good to see.
Yeah, no, he's a lovely big horse, and he's done a very, very good job. He's another one Steve picked out.
Yep. No, he's done a great job.
Yeah,
he picks them all out.
Yeah, no, really good. All right, Bob, really appreciate your time. Good luck with your scooter, and we'll see you here. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Don't ride it up the freeway.
Don't fall off.
Thanks very much.
There you go, Bob Mellsop. There you go. Scooter rider.
Yes.
The daredevil.
He's had 5 stolen, so he has. He actually has, so he's keeping us in business down there in Bunbury.
Got to find a way to lock him up for him.
No, he's a terrific bloke, Bob, and enjoying some success, and he's pretty upbeat about his chances on Friday night too.
He's always got a bit of confidence about him, Bob, but it's well deserved.
Yeah, no, he's got a great strike rate, so it was good to have a chat with him.
Yeah, no, that was really good, and you got all 3 are genuine chances tomorrow night. They're going to play a part in the race at some stage, which is really good. So no, good to catch up with Bob.
Yep, certainly was.
Now this segment, Morts, don't want to forget our sponsors. They pay your wage. We're going to look after them. Speaking of paying your wage, Retrovision, your local WA electrical appliance specialist, where RAC members receive an additional 5% every day. I'm sure Bob's taken advantage of that.
He certainly has, yeah.
Where you can get your scooters from, apparently, in Bunbury. Yes, if you're down in Bunbury. Yes, it's a big store down in Bunbury.
A lot of scooters down in Bunbury. But, no, Retrovision, of course, we've got Father's Day coming up, Michael, not this weekend, the one after, and right at the moment we've got the big audio sales, so we've got all types of noise-cancelling headphones over the ear, in the ear.
Nothing better than noise-cancelling headphones if you've got to travel. You tipped me into it, and it's changed travelling for me.
It has, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I always used to look at these people walk on with the Bose headphones around their neck thinking, come on.
Yeah.
And then tried a pair, and it's just an amazing difference.
Yeah.
It really is, whether you've got even music on or just nothing on. You just want to zone out and read a book or something. They're terrific.
Yeah,
so,
no, it really is. It blocks the engines out. It's if you're travelling.
It's a must. So if you need some noise-cancelling headphones, we've got a great range of Sony with some really good discounts at the moment in the lead up to Father's Day. So get into your local Retrovision store. If you're in the Bunbury store, you might bump into Bob.
Getting a scooter. He might bump into you.
He's just like I said, we get fantastic support from the harness industry.
Yeah, that's great.
And
last time Bondi was on, he was buying something in the...
Yeah, Bondi was, and Bob just fitted out his kitchen down there, and we just put a big commercial oven into the Bunbury Trots as well. So we get great support, which is terrific.
No, very good. All right, that's Retrovision, your local WA electrical appliance specialist. All right, now, we've been having two guest morts, and we're going to continue that on. And we've been trying to mix it up with different things with Bob's the trainer. So we got to get an owner again this week, and punter. Can't forget
punters.
He's a very serious punter as well.
It's unbelievable.
In Matt Leppard, the big cat, he owns plenty of horses with our man Ollie Cownie.
Now, Michael, I've got to own up to something here. Yeah. I did have a question for the big cat.
Yeah,
and I withdrew it.
Okay,
because I was going to ask him, how'd you get the name the Big Cat? And I looked at his surname and thought, well, that's pretty obvious, Mort. You might want to not ask that one.
Before we get him on, Ollie, he gave it. Did he give himself the nickname?
Oh, he would have.
Yeah, he would have. Former AFL umpire as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll chat to Matt in just a moment. He's got a couple of good chances in tomorrow. He's also like part owner of Penny Black. And a few others with Michael. He's a big supporter of Michael Young, but he's got the favourite in tomorrow's night, Binshaw, Lincoln Lou. And on Tab Touch, I can tell he's $1.50. Lincoln Lou. Gary Hall Jr. for the very powerful Michael Young opened $1.60. He's into $1.50, and he'll start a firm favourite, all things being equal. He's had one start in WA. For an impressive win. Before we get the big cat on the line, here's Lincoln Lou winning on debut in WA.
From Rumble Strip, who's got no answer to Lincoln Lou, and Lincoln Lou's coming away from Rumble Strip. A big win first up, Lincoln Lou.
That was Lincoln Lou, and he'll start favourite in the Binshaw, and one of his main owners is joining us on the line in Matt Leppard. Matt, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Rads. Hi, Morts. Thanks for having me.
No, really appreciate you taking your time, and we might talk about horses. We'll get into a few other things, but Lincoln Lou, geez, he was impressive first up and gets his chance to win a $50,000 race tomorrow night.
Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be good to get a chunk of our money back. He's one of a string of Kiwis which we've bought across the last 2 years, but we liked his speed when we saw the replays in New Zealand. He's still only a 3-year-old, which meant we knew we'd get to have a crack at the Derby and obviously the Nugget next season. But when Michael Young started working him up and fast working him, and he got to a stage where he was nearly ready to go to the races, he sort of said, gee, we might have found another one here. And he wasn't this excited about one of the Kiwis that we've had before. Like he said, it can sort of work better than anything we've had from New Zealand before, like Penny Black and Hugo Tastic. So we were pretty excited leading into his first up run, and he drew the wide gate and had Rumble Strip drawn inside him, so it was never going to be easy. But his biggest asset's his speed, and we saw that. Not many horses can come 4 wide when they're running a 28 flat quarter and round them up as easily as he did. So he looks to have a pretty good future, and all going well, he should lead and win tomorrow night, unless something untoward happens, I would expect.
Yeah, really good. And you've also got Bobby Waterhouse in, so you've got 2 barrier ones. That doesn't happen too often.
No, you've got to take them when you can get them. But the thing with these 2 horses drawing 1 is under the preferential draw, they sort of had to draw 1. So I think that's something that Michael has been very good at this year since the handicapping system changed in WA. and that is to utilise the pref draws and the handicapping system to his advantage to place his horses, so you can sort of work out where you might draw well and enter them in those races. So in the case of Lincoln Lou, he came across New Zealand as a 64 racer, and we identified this race in the calendar as soon as the calendar was released for this week about 6 weeks ago, and we saw that we had to be a 68 to get into it, and we knew if we could get into it as a 68, then there's a fair chance he'd draw barrier 1. So we had to try and win a race in the country and cop 4 points. If we'd won a race in the city, it would have been 6 points, and we may not have drawn barrier 1 as a 70 rater. So there was a bit of method behind the madness, and we were able to win that race last week, which made us a 68, and then we've got in and drawn the 1. So there was a bit of logic behind it all, and it's all panned out perfectly so far. And in the case of Bobby Waterhouse, he is a very low-rated 48 horse that we've got from Penrith. He actually came from the same stable over there as our Thunder, who you would have seen win a few races for us there over the last few weeks. So hopefully he can do the job our Thunder's done, and he's got good gate speed, Bobby, so he shouldn't have any issues leading, and he'll get his chance in front, hopefully.
I don't think anybody's done as well as manipulate the new ratings system as Michael Young. So he obviously puts, as you just explained, he puts a lot of time and effort to make sure that he finds the right horse can take advantage of the preferential barrier draw, and to come up with the number 1 Doug twice tomorrow night. Got to be pretty happy with that.
Towards the end of last year, once we sort of were aware of what the new system would look like, we actually started looking for horses that would suit this new system. So a perfect example was Mac Larney. We bought him towards the end of last year with the idea of having him ready for the NR system on January the 1st, because he was such a low rating horse for his previous performances. He was only like a 55 or something when we bought him. So we knew that he'd be ideal for, firstly, the Albany season, but even to draw well on these low-grade metro races. So he was an example of how we planned ahead by buying him months in advance before the new season even kicked in, so that by January 1 he was ready to capitalise on that new system. So that's an example of the way Michael and me and a couple of the other owners were sort of thinking when we heard about the change. So there has been a lot of thought go into it, over the last 12 months to try and find the right horses on the right assessment so that we can get them into the right races and get a quick return.
So do you like the new handicapping system?
Well, as an owner, I'm having my most successful season yet, but that's probably also coinciding with buying the best quality horse flesh that I've had collectively as well. So it's a bit of both, but I think the handicapping system's okay. I think it's probably just the programming that maybe needs a bit of tinkering with. And an example is last year with these mares free-for-alls, and the reason I talk about the mares free-for-alls is because we've got both Penny Black and Heavenly Gypsy that fit that category. Last year they were running a mares free-for-all once every 2 weeks throughout the entire year, so therefore you would have got a lot of return bout clashes between, Artie by the Seaside, Penny Black, Little Darling, Waterloo, those sort of horses. But this year, there's not that many mares free-for-alls throughout the year. The next one is, I think, the second week of September, and then the next one after that is the first week of October. And leading up to that September one, there's a 6-week gap between mares free-for-alls. So, horses like Penny Black, when she comes back to racing, she'll be forced to probably start out wide in a free-for-all against the boys, against the likes of Minstrel and Magnificent Storm, which means she's, no hope of winning the race. So I think if they want to keep these sort of good mares racing in WA and not have them sold to America, they probably need to give more opportunities for these mares to race against each other. And I think, even if they're not getting full fields, that's fine. If you're an 8 or 9 horse field, I'm sure punters would love to see Artie by the Seaside teeing off against Heavenly Gypsy and Penny Black, Little Darling, Wonderful to Fly, Waterloo on a regular basis by programming these mares free-for-alls the way they did last year.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Do agree. And preferential barrier draw in the Group 3 $50,000 race?
Yeah, as I said, there was a bit of method behind it. We sort of planned to not win a metro. We only wanted to win a country race to make sure that we got in on the 68 rating so we would draw barrier 1. The trick was just getting into the field and being selected into the field, which we were able to. And once we're in the field, we sort of knew we were going to draw 1 and start a short price favourite. So I guess our job's all done and Michael's job's all done. It's now up to Gary and the horse to just execute the start and make sure he uses his gate speed that he has shown in New Zealand. And from there, hopefully, touch wood, it's smooth sailing.
These Group 3s never used to be preferential barrier draw, Michael. How come all of a sudden they are?
Well, the Binshaw's not a group race anymore because it is restricted, and to be a group race you've got to be open. But August Cup certainly was.
Winter Cup.
And I think it's more along the lines trying to get the best wagering out of it. But whether, there's also, you need a mix though, but coming into obviously the $100,000 races and those races, the Stratton, all that, they've got to be random. And pacing cups. So, but saying that, Matt, you said you've probably got the best horse flesh you've had in your owning career, and you predominantly own in WA. You do have horses in Queensland as well.
Yeah, I say collectively the best I've got at the moment. When I say collectively, I mean in terms of the number of fast class horses I've got. But in the past, I did own Arms of an Angel, who ran 30 in a Miracle Mile, and Can't Refuse, who ran 7th in an Into Dominion. But they were just sort of one-offs at the time. But if you look at the number of sort of fast class horses I've got at the moment, it's probably the deepest crop of horse I've owned. I do have some still in the east. I've got Lovebite in Queensland, who ran in the Into Dominion series. He made the Consolation, and he sort of dropped out from 3 pegs in the Consolation. That was just a bit hot for him. But during a couple of the heats, he held his own and ran 6th in one of the heats, and that was enough to get him through the Consolation. So he's had a bit of a break. He'll be back racing soon. And the other one I've got in the east is in Victoria, Young Bluey, who's a free-for-all horse in Victoria with Matt Craven. So the two I've got in the east are both nice types. And actually, I've got Lamandier, former Perth horse,
Sydney.
Recently, and he's ran a couple of placings the last 2 Saturday nights. But this weekend may be his last run because we've struck a deal to sell him to America.
Okay.
So, Michael Young earlier in the year decided enough was enough and he'd had enough of the horse, so we sent him east, and Seaton Grimer's done a good job with him. The last 2 placings have been in 150 mile rates, so he's got him going well, and that's attracted the eye of the Americans, and they've offered a price which for a rising 8-year-old we couldn't refuse.
Oh, good. That's good. Good to hear. Now, Matt, you're a punter, a professional punter?
Yeah, I am. I've been full-time now for, 2025, so about a decade now.
Okay.
I used to work for ANZ in finance, building mathematical risk models. I've got a mathematical background at university. And back when I was working at ANZ, I was also umpiring professionally as well. I used to be an AFL field umpire.
Right, okay.
So back in the day when I was umpiring, I used to, when they'd fly me over for a Freo or West Coast game at Subiaco, I used to go to Gloucester Park on the Friday night and sneak down and hang out with Glenn Moore, have a few bets and a chat. And I don't get to Gloucester Park as much as I'd like to, given the number of horses I've got over there these days. But that's a bit of my background in terms of ANZ and umpiring. But for the last 10 years, it's just been punting full time. And it's a job that feels like a hobby, I guess is the best way to describe it. I certainly can't imagine myself going back to work, what you might call a normal job again. I think the lifestyle of being a pro punter becomes too addictive, being your own boss, and sort of not having a boss to answer to, and sort of working your own hours and doing what you want to do. But I'm pretty hard on myself. I'll drive myself pretty hard to work hard and get through the form of all the meetings that I want to be into. I probably work too much, if you ask some people, but I enjoy it and love it, and wouldn't have it any other way.
And are there particular tracks that you bet into?
I bet into 4 states, so the 3 eastern states plus WA.
Which is unusual for a professional, Matt, because normally they concentrate on one area.
And that's why I probably bite off more than I can chew in terms of the work hours that I'm doing to be able to achieve the number of meetings I do bet into. I think my 2 main states for turnover would be WA and Victoria. Victoria probably is my home state, that's my bread and butter, and WA has always been my sort of next main love after Victoria.
And you have like a certain amount of time you'll invest in form on a race, like 10 minutes per race or 15 minutes, or do you just say, well, if I can't work it out in 10 minutes, it's a no-bet race, or what's your...
Pretty much, yeah, sort of what you said, the latter there. So like some races where the speed map's obvious, you can sort of whiz through a race sometimes in 5 or 10 minutes. The trickiest part of doing form is working out the speed map.
Yeah.
If you can work out the speed map and have a very predictable speed map that you're very confident in, then you're halfway to finding the winner. But if you can't even work out what's going to be the leader in the race because it's such a tricky race, then it's really tricky to have a bet in the race unless you want to back like a swooper at decent odds who might run over them late because the map's so jumbled that there might be a lot of tempo on because a lot of horses might think they can lead. But as a general rule, probably sort of 15 to 20 minutes per race, I guess, is the guideline that I work off. Some less, some more, depending on how many horses in the race and how tricky a race it sort of looks to be. And
do you price every runner in a race?
I don't price anymore, and I find that by not taking up some time to price races, it allows me more time to get through more races and more meetings.
Yeah.
So what I do, I used to price years ago, particularly mainly the metro meetings, but these days I find that I just sort of do the form on the race and form an opinion on the speed map and how I think the race will pan out and who I think the most likely winner is, and then a gauge in my mind of what price I'll be happy to back that horse at that I think is the one I want to back.
Yep.
So in terms of pricing a full race in general, I don't think you can be too scientific about it because the whole world of gambling is such a grey area. There's no black and white. Like, how can someone definitively say that this is $1.70 pot?
Yeah.
Like, you can't say this is exactly $1.70 pot pre-race.
Yep.
It's just a ballpark figure that you might be happy to roughly back it at around that price or more. So that's why in my head I've got a rough gauge on what I want to back it at.
Yep.
But I certainly don't spreadsheet it all with prices for every horse and all that sort of thing.
But I imagine you keep a spreadsheet of how you're tracking for the year.
Yep, sure do.
Yeah.
So I've got a spreadsheet that I enter a profit loss figure per day, and then that sums it up by month and by year, and I've got a formula that calculates what my projected profit is for the year based on if I was to keep winning at the same rate for the remainder of the year, so I know how I'm going compared to previous years throughout the year. And I also track it by track and by state now as well. So I can sort of look at my spreadsheet and see in WA, if I just look at it here, I think I'm actually more profitable for Gloucester Park than I am for Pinjarra. I'm just struggling on Pinjarra a bit this year since the quality of the meetings aren't what they quite used to be on the Mondays, I find.
Right, okay.
And I certainly steer clear of the one lap races at Pinjarra as well. I find they're a total non-betting proposition, so I don't even do the form for those.
Yeah, okay.
But Gloucester Park Fridays, just looking at the spreadsheet, it's certainly my bread and butter where I make a fair chunk of my WA money.
And on a track like Gloucester Park, any in-play betting?
Yep. Most of it's pre-race, but as you know, as soon as something crosses unexpectedly, for example, it can change the whole market dramatically. Like, something could be $10 pre-race, but as soon as it crosses to the front unexpectedly, it could be $1.80 in play.
Yeah.
Or you might have expected it to go back at the start and all of a sudden it launches and crosses. It just totally changes the race. So there is an opportunity there for punters on Betfair to get an earn by betting into those in-play markets. You're not always going to get your bet matched the way you want it to. You might only get a portion of it on, depending on whether someone wants to match the bet that you've put up to ask for during the race.
Yep.
But you also got to remember that the TV is at least 5 seconds behind live. So therefore you've got to be careful. You don't want to leave your bet up there asking for it for too long, because someone might take it and your horse might start dropping out at the 400, for example. So if I put up a bet that's not matched, generally I'll cancel it once they get to about the 500 or 600, because that's where generally in a race the race shape starts to change quite dramatically, and you can tell whether a horse is travelling or not.
Yeah, okay. And I don't want to sound like I'm interrogating you here, so just one last question, but words of wisdom for somebody that would, thinks they can be a professional punter?
Yeah, the best advice I would give is you only get out of it what you put into it. And what I mean by that is in terms of the time commitment and the dedication you're putting into the research and doing the form, is how much you're going to get out of it in terms of financially as a reward. So anyone who thinks they want to do it and try it, it's not like you can just jump on and start backing winners without doing all the hard work. And it takes years and years of learning how to be a profitable punter. Yeah. I have been betting since I was a kid, but I think I only started making a long-term annual profit about when I was 26 or 27, I think.
Right.
So it sort of took me through my university years and even into my early working career. I was still honing my skills, I guess you could say, before I eventually became a winning punter. But once you learn how to win and you've proven that you can win long term, then naturally your betting starts to increase in size, which naturally then increases the amount you're winning, and it becomes a bit of a snowball effect.
Yeah. So I should probably keep my day job and just play with Monopoly money for a couple of years and try it. And if it works, I think
the best way to do it is just learning from your own mistakes. And someone who turns out to be a very good punter will learn from their mistakes because they're switched on and they'll learn what's working and what's not working.
Yeah.
Now, a big thing this year was the Ultimate Driver, Matt, which you're a part of as one of the gurus, probably the main guru with Ollie Cownie. And it was just a fantastic concept at Albion Park, and yourself and Ollie did the draw for us and the draft, which was a fantastic day at Albion Park, and obviously Junior did the right thing by us on the track and end up running second. But it was a fantastic concept, and I'll tell you what, watching you and Ollie at work in the draft was something. It was a really good day.
It was a lot of fun that week. The draft was on the Wednesday, and then the 2 race nights were on the Friday, Saturday. So we're up there for 4 nights, and it was just, aside from the actual racing and the draft side of things, the actual social aspect of it was as much fun as I've had in harness racing circles for a long, long time, catching up with friends who I've known for a long time, but also meeting a lot of new people from around Australia, New Zealand, and also America, and even Bjorn Goop, I guess, if you include him.
Yeah.
Meeting people who you would never otherwise normally meet, and realising that not are they just superstars of the sport, but they're also just really good, genuine people. And just having a few beers with people like Yannick Gingras, you realise that he's not just a Hall of Famer in America, but he's actually just the nicest bloke you'd ever meet, and great to have a beer and a chat with. But in terms of the actual racing side of things, the draft was a lot of fun. It was actually really, really stressful. At the end of the 2-hour draft, mentally I felt totally drained, such was the concentration required for that 2 hours. It actually felt like what I used to feel like when I walked off an AFL ground having just umpired a match. Just mentally you're just shot, and you just feel like sitting in a corner and relaxing for a couple of minutes. But me and Ollie, we did all our homework. We get about 48 hours between when the fields are released for both meetings on the Monday Arvo until the draft on the Wednesday Arvo. And our first round draft pick was pick 9, so our next pick was pick 12. So within the first 2 rounds of the draft, so within the first 20 picks, we wanted to try and nail 2 winners, two morals. And me and Ollie both thought there were 8 morals across the 20 races. And if we thought pre-draft, if we can get 2 morals of the 8 morals that we think there are, with picks 9 and 12, then it'll put us in a pretty good position. And we were fortunate enough that other people were thinking differently to us, and we were able to get 2 what we called morals in those first 2 picks, and they both got the job done at odds on. So that set us up for the weekend, and I don't think we could have drafted any better. We're really happy with how the draft went, and Gary couldn't have driven any better. He nailed pretty much every drive. It's just that Angus Garrard was too good, and he was winning on a few double-figure pops that weren't expected to win, and in the end that was the difference. But we had a lot of fun, and hopefully we get another gig next year in the same series, and Gary will be back there being our driver again, hopefully, and we can go one better and knock off Angus next year. Yeah, well,
I actually spoke to Dexter, and Dexter said, I'd lob in a position that I thought was pretty good. I'll look around and Angus would be in a better position. Angus just didn't put a foot wrong the entire series, and neither did Gary. I think Gary, he might have one race he come off the pegs where he shouldn't, but apart from that, I think every race was almost a peach for him.
There was just one race where he was on a roughie and he was 4 pegs, and at about the 600 he came off and pushed wide rather than sucking the pegs, and it probably cost him 3rd or 4th compared to 7th or 8th. But apart from that, he was absolutely faultless, and I think Gary showed why he's regarded as good as any driver in Australia.
Yeah, and I think that's why we should be having a WA driver over there, because of, 85% of our wagering's from the east. You're from the east, and to have our driver go over there and compete with the rest, and then see him back here every Friday night, and the quality of our drivers here in WA, I think it's important that we represent in that type of an event, and it's going to be great to see Gary represent Australia at the World Drivers' Championship this year in New Zealand as well. So, Matt, it's been enlightening.
Well, it's been terrific. Enjoyed it very much. So
it's been a great chat. I know you're busy because you're probably your 3 busiest nights Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Well, definitely Friday, Saturday. Thursday is a bit weird today because the Penrith meeting that's normally on tonight has been moved to an afternoon meeting. Okay. So, And normally Thursday is Redcliffe, but they've moved. At the moment, they're doing Albion Thursdays and Redcliffe Fridays. They've switched them. So normally my Thursday afternoons are actually really quiet. But today, for some reason, is just busier than normal.
Yeah.
Tomorrow,
That's
I'll
right.
fly over in the morning, and then the reason I'm actually flying over is to visit our good friend Matty Joss, who is another one of the Gloucester Park gurus. He's laid up in hospital with ill health at the moment. So I'm going to visit him tomorrow and Saturday, and that's the main reason I'm flying over. It just coincides with Lincoln Lou drawing barrier 1 in a $50,000 race, so it's a good opportunity to see my horses, and I'll get out to the stables to Michael's place and see them on Saturday morning as well. Emily's already told me she's going to put me to work. And then Sunday, I may go to Calaveran. Bobby Waterhouse is running.
There you go. Yeah. Well, Michael, I think, is the leading trainer up there. He's
It'll
the
probably be the
Calaveran
first and
trainer.
the last ever time I go to Calaveran.
No, it'll be good for you to get there, mate. Really appreciate your time. As I said, I know you're busy, but it's been really enlightening. Pass on our best to Matty Joss, and we'll see you here tomorrow night.
No worries. I'll catch you guys tomorrow night. Thank you.
Good on
Bye.
you. There we go, Matt Leppard.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. AFL umpire,
Yeah.
professional punter, and owner extraordinaire
Yeah.
with our very good friend over here, Ollie Cownie.
Ollie, yeah, Ollie. I got to say, Ollie and Matt did a great job at the draft. I was there.
Yes,
I just filled. They told me what to fill in. I just filled it in and handed it in. And
that's good.
But yeah, there was a lot of discussion because you're also trying to listen to whoever's taken, and then knocking them out of your list.
Yeah.
And you might have Ollie and Matt had who they wanted, but I think they picked of the top 10. They picked who everyone else would pick on the way through as well, which was important. So they knew who they were going to get. I think someone took a longer price one for some reason the first round, and the boys sort of just adjusted quickly. But yeah, we went bang bang, and the two actually. And the first one that we picked, our first pick, it was $1.30. But Junior had to lift it across the line. It was out of chips, and Junior had to pick him up and get him across the line. It was.
Oh, well, he's good at doing that.
He
Michael.
was. Yeah. It was good, and Chris Barsby's adds something to it as well. A couple of the sayings, and I was speaking to Chris before, and he goes, "Oh, what do you think about this?" And we're talking about race calling and different things of how he's going to approach it. But I've got to say, I'm with Matt. It was a little bit like the old days of the Inter-Dominion when everyone used to get together. And because everyone was sort of staying there as well, because it was 2 days at Albion Park and you didn't go. So it was a bit like the old Inter-Dominion where everyone sort of got together and stayed. It was fantastic.
That's great.
And
it's on again?
Well, we've got to confirm because we were told if we ran top 3 we'd get invited back, but Ollie's putting in the submission. I've just got to confirm to make sure that we get invited back because it's going to be great for Junior to go back and go one better.
Yeah, certainly will.
On the back of winning the World Drivers' Championship in New Zealand.
Certainly will.
Okay. All right, this segment, Morts, was brought to you by Steel Blue Boots. Built for comfort, made for work, well over 700 stockists nationwide, and they are a mark of true skill.
They certainly are. As you know, Michael, they are Australia's leading supplier of work boots. Designed for comfort, durability and choice, backed by a 30-day 100% comfort guarantee.
Yep.
And as we've spoken about before, they've got the pink boot, and $10 from every pink boot goes to breast cancer research, and they've got the blue boot, male and female, in both colours for and $10 from the purchase of every blue boot goes to Beyond Blue. So doing their part, Australia's favourite work boot.
And they're great to see Dennis doing the voiceovers for those ads. If you watch any of the Fox Sports Rugby League, AFL, they're always on, and just to hear Dennis.
Yes.
Dennis and his
unmistakable voice.
Yeah, it's fantastic. All right, I think we've any news. It's been a big segment, Morts.
It's been a massive segment. I thought, well, it must be time to go home, but I think we've still got a bit to go.
We haven't got through the tips yet.
Yeah, we haven't got through the reason why people are listening. So
well, if they're still listening,
they got through our dribble. We spoke about earlier, Cap Warwick, 32 years, terrific effort, and heading off to the Gallops, which is terrific. The preferential barrier draws, Michael, on Group 3s. I mean,
well, the open class Group 3s, it's different, I think, if it's, Group 3s. There needs to be definite. There's got to be a mix of them, but it does. It created a great race, though. I've got to say that.
Did it? What I would like to see is, did it create a better betting race?
I think it did. But the problem is, last Friday night there wasn't a Group 1. There wasn't an odds-on favourite at Gloucester Park, which is the first time it's happened in quite a while. But that would be with most harness tracks. Yeah. But there was a few that were too big. Like once you start getting over $4 the field, that actually hurts wagering.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there needs to be a band where you want your favourites, and it's generally $1.80 to $2.80. Mm-hmm. And that's because you need a market leader for people to bet in, and every figure says that it goes up. So, look, I think that the preferential barrier draws overall are working, but I've only got one or two horses. It cops it most of the time because they're consistent, and that's the way it is. But I think
you might say it's the way it is, but the horse has got to get a chance to win at some stage.
Yeah, but coming into the bigger races like the Brennan Stratton, those races have got to be random, and the Pacing Cup obviously is random. We do the barrier draw and all that sort of stuff. So, and we've got the Westbred barrier draws. They're random on Tab Radio. Often pacing at 9 a.m. on Monday morning with Ollie and Matt. So the 4 group races, so the 2 Group 1s for the 2-year-olds and the 2 Group 2s for the 3-year-olds will be on Tab Radio. They're random. So, but you're right, and I think also the way that you do preferential barrier draws, there's a number of ways you can do them as well. So it's not just NR. It can be last $5. It can be on number of wins. And you got to mix.
It could be mares.
Yeah, you got to mix them up, and giving mares mares have been there's been less free for all mares, but there's been more races where they've got the preferential barrier draw and they've drawn beautifully in against the better horses and brought them right into the race. And our mares at the moment are probably the best we've had in a long time.
Yep.
And they're really competing with the males. So, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely a valid question to,
because they weren't like the August Cup, the Winter Cup. They weren't preferential barrier draws last year.
No, they weren't. No, but that's changed under the way they're programming at the moment. But I'd like to see, as far as programming goes, dollars last 5 less than 25 and dollars last 5 less than 20 like we had in the previous one, just to get those horses that are metro horses circulating back through and giving them their chances to win and then going back up. And
I do agree with that. I think I would like to see that as well.
The members' sprint this week is, what is it? It is dollars last 6 less than 35, which is actually produced a really good race.
Yeah.
And then the barrier draws dollars last 6, which they could have done on NR, they could have done on wins, they could have done on a number of things, but they've gone with the same as the way that it's programmed. So I'd like to see more of that. And Warren did tell me I've put on a dollars last 5 for you, the dollars last 6, and that was good. But yeah, I'd like to see more of those dollars last 5 because I think you'll get those horses circulating back through. And getting a chance to get some confidence as well and go back in.
Because to Matt's point, like I said, if he can't...
Well, they're picking the eyes out, and that's why Michael's leading trainer.
Yeah, but if he can't identify a clear speed map, he doesn't have a bet. Well, no. In that August Cup, given where 2 of them drew, it was pretty hard to find a speed map.
There's also a few races there that, you're like, good luck picking the speed map.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like it is a bit like that.
The race is Friday night. Yeah. About 7 or 8 of them are pretty open.
Yeah.
In terms of $354 a field. There's a couple $180 and I think $150, but most are $3 plus a field. So it would be good to. Is there any danger we might see a comparison of the figures at some stage?
Well, I don't know. I can see our figures, but I can't see other states, other tracks and all that sort of stuff. And also it depends on, there's a few other factors involved, but but it'd be good to see.
Is turnover up or down?
No, well, I'd have to analyse it again and really do the comparison. I haven't had a look at what the comparison is from last year. I've just had a look at what we're doing.
Would be good to know.
Yeah, but the HRCG is coming up.
Yep.
The eligible bodies are at that. Now, I'll tell you what I've liked, Morts, is the Ken Casellas articles are now going up as individual articles. So they used to be just one day, and used to come out on Wednesday, and then on social media get lost. So now you're getting each day, and they're coming up on their feeds, and you're getting much more views, and even on the HRA site, which has the biggest.
I've seen quite a few.
Yeah, they come up, and they're coming up more often because what happens is Victoria and New South Wales, they've got so much content, it keeps on pushing it down. So our Wednesday articles, by the time we got to Friday, we were on the second or third page.
Yeah.
So now we've got it like today, where our yesterday and today we're on the front page. Yeah, we're on the W9, we're on the front page and all that sort of stuff. So
it was a great picture too. Did you see the picture, Michael?
No.
Oh, nice horse with the big Retrovision.
Oh no, yeah, it was Mighty Ronaldo winning the Fremantle Cup.
Terrific.
It was
a bit of free advertising
because
I noticed that the stories were
and you're getting
frequent.
more. It's coming up. It's more content. And it's coming up more often and stuff like that. So I think it's been good, and I think the figures are backing it up as far as views and stuff like that. So that's really good. So I thought I'd throw that out there for you, Morts, just as something different that we've noticed. We give them brickbats all the time, but
it's good, very good. Any promotion of harness racing is good. Yeah, certainly good. So it's good to see.
Now we spoke about it before. De Campo just dominated the Westbred heats as 2-year-old, particularly 2-year-old on Tuesday night. Wishing Bell, whoever beats her in the final will be winning.
Yeah,
and she'll start a short price favourite.
Yep, she's outstanding, and you would think I don't know what could beat her, but barrier draws and
as
and
Ian
things
Craig
can
used
happen.
to say, the great uncertainty of racing, matey.
Correct, but you would think if she gets a reasonable draw, she's going to be extremely hard to beat.
Yeah, even I think if she draws bad, it won't matter.
Yeah,
I think she's
starting the car park. Maybe?
Yeah, I think so. Yep. I think so. But the Colts, it's a much more open race, and we saw.
Better Move Matty was very impressive.
Better Move Matty, Better Behave backed it up in the second heat, and it was a strong win. Joey Savalco jumped aboard. And Ideal Beach continued on his winning way, and De Campo second and third.
And Maestro?
Yes. And so he's qualified a number, but you mentioned Better Move Matty.
Very impressive.
Manners weren't great, but he's obviously taken back the trials, did 2 jump outs, got his head right, and he never looked like breaking on Tuesday night. Came out in the centre of the line, bullied his way to the front. El Maestro come and sat outside him. Better Move Matty, he was really strong. Wake Up Jeff. Jeez, hasn't he gone good? His win at Pinjarra was really good.
It was very good.
And then he's
made up good ground.
Second on Tuesday night was really good. But
ground.
Let's take a break, and let's go to the break, and let's listen to Better Move Matty and Aiden De Campo, who just dominated the heats of the 2-year-old, defeating Wake Up Jeff and El Maestro in third for Robbie Williams.
Strongly Wake Up Jeff goes to second, but Better Move Matty, tonight was his night. He did everything right, went to the front and was too strong and beat Wake Up Jeff and third home El Maestro.
Hi, I'm Steve Sell from Loans 123. We are car finance specialists. We can help you find the loan you're looking for, your new car, and help find a home for your old one. If you want a new or used car but feel uncomfortable visiting car yards on your own, we can help and often save you money. For a stress-free way of buying and financing your next car, who do you see? Steve Sell at loans123.com.au or call 1800 100 100.
Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
Fire on the outside, Menemsha's after it, then Magnificent Storm rolling far in front, Menemsha on the outside, Menemsha takes the lead at a giant sized boil over it, it's Joseph. Menemsha has won from Rolling Fire, and third home is Armour X Factor.
It was Joseph Savalco for Aiden De Campo. Last first victory for Menemsha, first up. What a training performance as well from Aiden De Campo. Winning the Channel 7 August Cup. Group 3, $50,000 more.
Certainly was. Was back last, and great drive by Joey, and as we know, it was scratched twice, so obviously there was something Aiden wasn't quite happy with, but had him spot on for the night and was just too good.
Great drive by Trent Wheeler as well in second, just gave it every chance. Wasn't quite good enough.
Yeah, no, had every possible, but no, great win by the winner. Mind you, you think about Menemsha, it won a couple of the 2 or 3 biggest 2-year-old races.
Yeah, it was 2-year-old of the year.
Yeah.
It came back. It run. I think it was very close up in the Derby.
And it paid $91.
Yeah, it's on 337,000 watts. So,
Thank you very much.
like it's been the benchmark of his year most of the years, particularly the West Bred, and he'll go into the West Bred 4-year-old next week.
Extremely hard to beat.
Extremely, and Aidan will have the mare in the in the 4-year-old mares as well.
Yep.
Who's going around against Bob's in race number 8.
Big weeks
Copycat Queen. Plus, he's going to have 5 in the boys. He's going to have the $1.01 favourite in the girls.
What does he just have to get a couple of semi-trailers to get them all up here on the Friday night?
Production line.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It'll be a big night for him.
No, indeed. And he's got to have a big team out here as well, which is really good.
Yeah. And Michael, just do yourself a favour.
Yeah.
If they win a few races, you may need to nip down to Liquorland and just refill some of the...
Get the kegs.
Get
a few kegs in.
They do know how to enjoy themselves, and so they should.
That's really good. So he's got the enclosure ready to go. The 4 diamonds pacing. Now, this segment's brought to you by Snooze. Coburn? O'Connor?
No, Cannington. Yep.
But there's other ones as well, but...
No, we're only interested in 2.
Only lanes.
Yes, correct. Cannington and Coburn.
Cannington and Coburn.
Yep.
Lane was here on Tuesday night.
He loves it. Just comes along and involved with Ideal Beach, so having a good time, and they'll be here on W night, of course.
They sure will, and got a great chance. And just repeating, those W barrier draws for the 2-year-olds and the 3-year-olds will be done on Tab Radio 9 a.m.
on
Monday morning. So the group races there, but Coburn.
Because they're normally Tuesdays, the draws, so Monday's great.
Because they've already qualified.
Yep.
Get them out there on the top rating, off and pacing with Matt and Ollie.
Yep, correct. Snooze, Cannington and Coburn, up to 50% off selected mattresses, up to 30% off frames, up to 30% off bedroom furniture, and up to 30% off bedding and linen. So go and see Lane and the team out at Snooze in Cannington and Coburn, and I can tell you, just mention Talking Trots.
Yes, they will look after you.
Oh, they certainly will.
And don't forget to listen to the Drive program tomorrow, because every Friday they have King's Question with Hayden King, sponsored by Snooze.
King's Question.
King's Question. A little bit of alliteration there.
Right, is this is it like...
I don't think it's as good as the Retrovision question.
It wasn't what I was... just wanted to know if it was...
I don't know whether he does as much research as you, Mort's our man Hayden.
Yeah. He wouldn't. He would know it off the top of his head.
He would. Actually, I was watching... just this is by the by. We'll get to Bob very shortly. I was watching a hard quiz the other night. They had a lady with grammar on. I thought of our man Hayden. Anyway,
the nutty professor.
He is, and what a great job he's doing at the West.
Does.
And
we love him.
We'll see him.
And of course, we've made him.
Of course, we did. Went took him to a different level. we raised him up, Morts.
We managed to keep him awake.
Yes,
whilst he listened to us,
which was tough for him some days.
No, he was great. It was a good job.
All right. Speaking of doing a good job, our man on the line is our form expert in Scott Bomber Hill. Bomber, first of all, you must be happy the AFL season's over for your team.
Absolutely.
And we just move straight to 2026. I still got to put up with another game or two in the NRL, so...
I'm not all looking forward to 26 or that much either. I reckon we're a lot further away than that, but last night was pretty painful.
Yeah, it was just like watching an amateur football team play a AFL team, unfortunately. It was just, when you looked at the players out, and you can't, all clubs have injuries, but boy, they've certainly had their fair share.
I don't follow AFL as much as you guys, but I saw a bit of conversation about whether they'll score as many just to make sure they play GWS rather than Fremantle.
Didn't have to worry about that.
I even with the handbrake on, I don't think they could have got that low.
No.
It was always going to be them coming over here to play Fremantle, and you can go to the Bridge Bar and park here for that game. So check out.
That'll be a great game.
Go to the Bridge Bar
Go and watch Fremantle.
Go watch Fremantle knock over the Gold Coast Suns.
Gold Coast Suns should be a good game. Now, Michael, you just haven't spoken about the night all year.
We lost our coach during
the week. At least Bomber and I are happy to have a conversation after a 95-point thumping. You have been invisible.
Yes. No, it's been tough.
Yeah, obviously.
It's been tough. Yeah. The coach resigned during the week.
Yeah, he's gone.
He's gone, so we've got to get a new coach for next year. So I'm praying for 2026.
Yeah.
And see if we can pick up a few players as well in the off-season, although I think our salary... Although we pick up a $1.4 million player in the off-season, I don't know whether he's that good. But anyway, we'll see what happens.
You'd want to be okay.
You'd hope so.
For a fair price tag, yeah.
You'd hope so, but he hasn't been playing first grade for his team. Anyway, all right, let's move on. And we're going to have a look at a deep dive into 4 races this week. And it's a members sprint, Morts, and we've named races over the last couple of weeks. We've done draws in the members area. And we've named the races after our members. And the first race is the Kevin Dinnigan member since 1993 over the 21:30 metres. Let's have a look at the Tab Touch market. We've got Heavenly Bliss, $51. I like what I see, and punters sure have. $4.60 to $3.30, and here's the favourite. Lady Violetta at $1.26, Sunshine Swift $23. Her Presence had support. Actually, opened $2.40, got out to $4, and a little bit of money back into $3.60. Sweet Ivy's $9.50 into $4.60. Rebline $4.80 into $4. Better Have Faith $31. Recover Lover $201. Then the back line we've got Maddie Lou at $9.50, Sundancer Rainbow at $51, and Brûlée at $41. Bit of movement in this market for the first race, Bomber. How do you see it?
Hayden must have opened the wallet, and it's noticed him in the ownership there of that one, and come in nearly a point. So decent go. But I thought Rebline was the one. I think she'd really appreciate this grade, despite the draw. I've got her on top. She's been racing the likes of Nasavira, Copycat Queen, Chili Punter, Candy Apple, to name a few, and that's really good form for a race of this nature. And last week she just ran into dead end after dead end, and probably wouldn't do her much harm, to be honest. She'd had a few hard runs leading up to that. So, I think she's going to be further or closer to last than first, but if she finds the right helmet to follow home, her last 400 is definitely quicker than all of these. So she just needs to be close enough to that 400 peg, I think.
Yeah, just a tricky draw, Bomber, but Dylan's stable's been in great form and Dylan's been driving exceptionally well. So race 1, number 7, Rebline for Dylan, Edgerton Green, trainer and driver. What's our staking plan there?
Just the one unit, as you've touched on. She will need a touch of luck from the draw, but she's not far away from winning, particularly in this grade.
All right, we move to race number 2, and it is the Lee Keddy, member since 2007. Lee's here every Friday night in the members area. We've got Bobby Waterhouse, $1.80, and a pronounced favourite for Michael Young. Something Certain at $11. Mania at $61. Sugar Covered, I should say, $15 to $10. Scratch Rockability. Number 6 is My Dad the Terror at $41. Joey James at $71. Major Freeway, $7 in from 12. Manhattan Moon, $10 in from 14. Then the back line, we've got Fire Play at $26. Soho Confidential at $8. And Cordero at $9.50. Bomber, race number 2, what do you got for us?
Yeah, Bobby Waterhouse, Rads, he comes here off really average form in New South Wales, but based on what he produced in his first Aussie campaign in Queensland, his best would certainly lead and take care of these. And, you've obviously got to take him on trust somewhat, but Michael Young's got an exceptional record with tried horses first up and comes up with barrier 1 in a nice Friday night race. So I'm really happy to be with him. And, I was really keen as soon as I saw the fields, and then just read an article where both him and Emily are very confident tomorrow night. So I think we can find him in front and winning.
The very powerful Michael Young stable, they can find a horse, Michael, they certainly can. Bobby Waterhouse for the very powerful Michael Young stable, driven by Emily Savelko. First up in this state, Bomber?
Yeah, first up, and like I say, his New South Wales form wasn't great, but his Queensland form was really good. So if he recaptures that, I think he just wins.
Yeah, over 21.30. Got the good draw and just meets a fair field. So race number 2, horse number 1, Bobby Waterhouse. What's the staking plan, Bomber?
Yeah, we're having a good go here. I'm really after reading what Michael and Emily had to say. That just further enhanced my confidence. So we're going to go a 5-unit bet, and I think he'll lead and win.
5 units.
5 units.
Very
Part
nice.
owned by Oliver Cownie.
Yep.
And Matthew Leppard. So I'm tipping if they unload as well, this could start a real short price favourite.
About $1.01
on Friday night. So we heard from Matty early in the show, and obviously Ollie. We're going to hear. We'll see if Ollie's is as confident in the last segment on Bobby Waterhouse. All right, time to take a break now. Soundwave. Last week, Morts. He goes around in race number 3 this week. Drawn the back line, $19. In a really open race, though. And he was a winner last week. And
he was.
Did a good job.
Sure did.
He, Tom Nelly drove. Tom Nelly took the claim. These young junior drivers.
They're doing well, Michael. Very well. What I think we need to do over the next few months is get a couple of the younger ones on and have a chat and just see how they're going. But we've got some terrific young drivers. Yeah, there was a few in this race as well, and 2 junior drivers fought it out. Tom Nally on Soundwave, Liam Elliott on Fly to the Finish. There wasn't much in it, but it was Soundwave prevailing for Tom Nally.
To the finish with She's a Tiny Dancer fighting back. Down the outside is Soundwave. Fly to the Finish goes up, takes the lead. Soundwave is lunging at Fly to the Finish. Fly to the Finish and Soundwave hit it. Soundwave a nose fly.
New Mazda.
Yep, I love it. We got it from Bayswater Mazda.
I keep hearing great things about them.
They're fantastic to deal with. Great people, great coffee too.
At Bayswater Mazda, you'll always be well looked after. Visit the team today and find the best drive-away deals on new Mazdas and pre-owned vehicles. Driving is better with Bayswater Mazda.
So's the coffee.
Go and see Bayswater Mazda at the corner of Guildford and Garrett Road, Bayswater. DL 25174.
You are listening to Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
And also linebacker inside the 100, Travel Ban in front. Mr. Macedon trying to cut it down, but Travel Ban's got the lead from Mr. Macedon. Good time, little happy fella, and flying late faster than Dad, but Travel Ban has won it.
And that was Cat Warwick's last winner as a trainer. And good to see Cat went out a winner with Travel Ban. Shannon Savelko getting the cash, and Travel Ban, good win. It was a great win. Got straight to the front, and that was it. And yeah, like we said, 32 years. Great way to exit the harness racing. Indeed. The name Warwick, it's just isn't it famous? Absolutely. Yes. All right, this segment is brought to you by Loans 123, car loans, debt consolidations, all your personal finance. Who do you see? The great man, the nude nut, Steve Sell. Steve Sell, loans123.com.au, or the very easy to remember number 1800 100 100. Still doing things the banks can't, Michael, and trust me, if the nude nut can't help you, no, you're in all sorts of trouble, all sorts of pain. Hopefully we won't need him this week though. Absolutely. All right, now we previewed the first 2 races, races 1 and 2. We're going to have a break. We've got to go to the last 2 races now for Bomber. Good. We're having a bit of an intermission in between the races for our deep dive, but we're going to race number 9, which is the Ian Gartrell member since 2025, over the 2130 metres. This is a good race we've got, and it's an open race as well. He's got his goal, drawn the pole, and he's $6.50. Sugar Street, $26. She's a Tiny Dancer, $8. Linebackers, $21. Cold Hard Cash is $7.50. Ideal Muscle, $5 to $3.60. Mr. Macedon at $8.50. Lion Queen, the mare, pretty solid, is the favourite, $2.35 out to $2.45. Only the 2 runners over double figures, so of the 8 runners, 6 of them under double figures. Bomber, it's a good race, race number 9, and well worth the wait.
Yeah, it is a good little race, but I thought Lion Queen could return to form. Whilst the stablemate looks to probably lead, she's going to go back, I think. And the last 3 runs have been better than her figure form suggests. She's chased home 56 and change last half from near enough to last every time and making it pretty impossible. So a little freshen up off the back of those runs and back into a class that, horses that won't run those sort of sectionals, I think she can get over the top in a small field.
Interesting race named after the great Angartrell. Race number 9, horse number 8, Lion Queen for Mike Reid and Shannon Savelko. Bomber, we've just come off a big 5-unit bet last time. What are we betting here?
Certainly not 5 in this one, Morts. I think she'll give us a really good run, but 2-unit bet because there is that sort of little bit of a question mark on current form. 2-unit
bet there in race number 9.
All right, then we move to the final race, race number 10, and it is the James Webb, member since 2008. And let's have a look at the Tab Touch market. We've got Pocket the Change, open $2.65 out to $3. Push Button Rock at $6.50. Better Than Secret at $18. Burley Shard at $23. Louis LeBeau at $10. Mickey Pello at $15. Got a Good Warhole at $71. The old fellow Tubbs Farquhar, open 31, got out to 61, back into 31. Hale St. Louis, he's the favourite, 230 into 215, and Always Be Frank at $14. How are we going to finish off the meeting here, Bomber?
Yeah, obvious two main ones, I think Pocket the Change and Hale St. Louis, but Pocket the Change gets the opportunity to lead for the first time for a while, and Rock Hard Fit whilst the other bloke's sort of third up from a spell and drawn the car park. So I think Denny gets the opportunity to drive this bloke to beat one horse essentially, and it's going to be very tactical, but hopefully Denny can put on a masterclass out in front and get the job done with Pocket the Change.
Pocket the Change for Sonia Zucchiari and Denny Roberts to round out the night for the team, which will be to send us off on a winning note, because Bomber knows we like to go out on a winning note. So what's the staking plan here? Race 10, horse number 1, Pocket the Change.
2-unit bet, Morts. I expect Denny to be in front, and plenty of looking over the shoulder for Hale St. Louis, and hopefully she's still looking over the shoulder at the end.
Hope you're right there, Bomber.
Indeed. All right. Have you got a multi for us this week, Bomber?
Yeah, there's a couple that I thought had really good trailing draws, and they're both drawn 10, but I think it's a beautiful draw for both of them. And race 4, number 10, Hoppy's Way. He only has to repeat his run 2 starts back where they ran super time, and I think he'll hold the leaders back here and run a place for us. And then race 5, number 10, Gatecrasher, also gets the opportunity to follow the favourite and most likely winner, I think. So I don't think he'll lose his helmet at any point. So I thought those two could both run into a hole from barrier 10.
All right, currently on Tab Touch, Hoppy's Way, 410 is at 230 a place, and Gatecrasher. Race 5, number 10, is 155 a place. So the all-up, the multi is 356 for the 2 place getters. The Peg's best place to be here at GP. And I think it's a good play from you, Bomber. The multi all-up place with the 2 inside the backline runners. So 356 for the multi there. All right. We've got a 5-unit bet, so you seem relatively confident, Bomber. Hopefully that's the way it plays out on tomorrow night.
Yeah, well, race 2 will tell us how the night pans out, I think, won't it?
Yeah, we'll know. But the problem is, once we back the first 2 winners, waiting for race numbers 9 and 10 could be a bit of an issue. We might have to see if we can find a winner or 2 ourselves. But, mate, thanks for that. Good luck, and we'll speak to you next week for W night. What a great what a night it's going to be.
Yeah, absolute cracker. So, couldn't have really set up any better. The barrier draw is going to tell a story in the boys division, particularly the 2-year-old. But, it's going to be a super night racing. Yeah,
indeed. All right, Bomber, we'll speak to you next week.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
There we go. There's Scott Bomberhill, and on W night, Morts, here at Gloucester Park, free entry. We've got the food vans. We've got a DJ.
Yeah. Fantastic.
It's going to be a big night.
No, it's great. Should be a real spectacle. There'll be some great racing and see some quality horses, which is always good. So looking forward to it. Get down here and try out the food trucks and bit of entertainment.
JP's bar's open.
Still got the $9 pint?
We will have it. Yeah, we'll have a $9 pint on special for you. So really good. All right. Now, Bomber's gone with Lion Queen in the second last, Morts, but Cold House Cash was one of Aiden's training double last week. And he goes around at 7.50 in that race number 9 tomorrow night in what is a really open race with Joseph Alco. Isn't he driving with a lot of confidence?
Very confident. No, he's good. Going really well.
Right, as we go to the break, here is Cold Hard Cash winning last week at GP.
Dick Bay tried to get through. Cold Hard Cash down the outside. Flying Disco, CD3 as well. Flying Disco after Cold Hard Cash, but Cold Hard Cash is in front of Flying Disco. Cold Hard Cash in.
There's always a lot more in store for you at Retrovision. Like Retrovision's lowest price guarantee. If you find a lower price on a same stocked item, we'll beat it. There's our 60-day price promise, where we'll refund you 120% of the difference if you find a lower advertised price on any purchase. Plus, RAC members save an extra 5% every day of the year. After 60 years, a lot has changed, but there's still a lot more in store at Retrovision.
You are listening to Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
Giving chase in second place. Great battle for third. I'm Category 5's in front near the line, though, and I'm Category 5, too good and won by 2.5 metres to Crunch.
There we go on Category 5. She won one of the fillies on Tuesday night. We've been talking about Wishing Bell, but on Category 5, she's a nice filly. On Category
Very nice
5.
filly. Was a good winner on Tuesday night, but does strike a good opponent in Wishing Bell. But hey, like we said, barrier draws, you never know.
Yeah, and just the great uncertainty of racing.
Yes,
You've got to be in it.
Correct.
So that, as we said, that barrier draw on the top rating, often pacing with Matthew Young and Ollie Cownie.
And, the great Ollie Cownie.
The great Ollie Cownie. We're going to be catching up with Ollie Cownie in just a moment.
Yep.
But this segment, Morts, is brought by another one of our great sponsors in Bayswater Mazda. Driving his bearer at Bayswater Mazda, corner of Guildford and Garrett Roads. And you know better than anyone.
It is, Michael. I went and saw the new CX-80 the other day. Magnificent.
CX-80?
Zoom.
Ooh.
Zoom. No, terrific. And went down and had a cup of coffee down there with the team. It was good. Go in there. Plenty of brand new cars, plenty of pre-owned vehicles, a smiling face, great service, and the best coffee in Perth, Michael.
They'll look after you.
Bayswater Mazda.
Indeed. Great supporters of us and Tab Radio in general. Great to have them on board here at Talking Trots. All right, we've got on Friday night, Wagen, as the co-meeting with Gloucester Park. We've got 6 races. The first is at 5:46. Sunday, we have the Central Wheat Belt.
Are you going?
No, but Matt Leppard's going.
Yeah.
Ollie, are you going to go with him?
I think I'm going to be taking him there. So.
Oh, there you go.
Right, okay.
The driver.
There'd be some big on-course betting.
There we go. 7 races on the Sunday. Matt Leppard, the special guest at 1:30 is the start time. Won't they have a big support card? Won't they know when the young team win a race?
Oh, boy.
On-course wagering might go up as well.
Yeah, I think so.
And then, obviously, we're going to talk about Albion Park on Saturday night for Ollie. And their first race is at 5. It's a 3:40 our time. 9 races there. But as I say, officially, welcome to Ollie. Welcome to the program.
Morts, Rads, it's good to be on. It was good to listen to Matt Leppard and Bob Mellsop earlier in the show. They had plenty of good things to say. So,
no, it was really good. I enjoyed talking to both. And he's a good fella, Bob, just to have a chat to. But
fella,
Matt Leppard, he's a close mate of yours, and you're in a lot of horses together. But yeah, it was great at the draft with yourself. It was very interesting watching you two work as well, because you had to sort of agree on the horse, and as horses were getting taken, you sort of had to try and pick the eyes out of who's the next best one for us, and making sure that we earned points along the way. And it was very interesting, but just an interesting fella.
Oh yes, he's obviously done a few different things like AFL umpiring in his life, and he's been very successful at most of the things he's done. And now it's pretty incredible the living he's been able to make just simply betting every day, which is something probably most people would dream of being able to do as a job. So
yeah, and he's one of our bigger investors at Gloucester Park as far as wagering goes. He's a pretty big turnover.
Yeah, okay.
Punter.
No, it was
really
interesting chat.
Yeah,
it was good.
And obviously the way he's changed the way he does it. He doesn't price every horse and then and goes back. So obviously you evolve and as you get better. But he says Friday, Saturday night's a very intense time for him. I can imagine he's an intense bloke.
I don't think the wife and kids get much of a look in on the Friday to the Saturday. So.
No, I'm tipping the door's locked and he's just concentrating for those 4 or 5 hours. But no, it was really good. It was really good to catch up, and I know you're close and you own plenty of horses together, and you've had a lot of success. But you're here to find us a few winners. Before we get to Wagen, you have. First up, Bobby Waterhouse. Bomber's confident. Michael and Emily seem confident. Are you confident?
I think, on his Queensland form, he looks like a horse that would be really hard to beat in a race like this. And he has pretty good gate speed as well. And it doesn't look a race where there's an abundance of really brilliant gate speed. I mean, maybe Joey James, but apart from him, none of them really fly out the gate. And I think if he can lead and roll along, he's going to be pretty hard to beat. I think one day at Albion Park, he went 154.8 over the 2100, and that's sort of pretty
good
slick.
Enough to win this race.
That's pretty slick time, yeah.
So $1.80 is it going to stay $1.80? Do you think?
I'm not going to be backing him. It's a pretty good result for me anyway. But I'm fairly confident he's going to run a good race. I think I'm more confident than Michael and Emily. But
really? There you go.
Yeah. I think when you work the horse at home and things, it's probably a little bit different to my perspective. I just sort of expect the horse to turn up and do what it did, and it doesn't really work like that, does it? So
no. It's good just to turn up and expect it to get the result. Now we got Wagen on Friday night as the co-meeting. 6 races. The first at 5:46. What do you got for us at Wagen?
It's a reasonable little card there at Wagen. Always interesting to see. A lot of the junior drivers end up going out there, and a few of the really good young ones, which are doing such good things, getting great opportunities there, and they really shine at these secondary meetings. And I'm going with one in race 3, a Law Publisher driven by Abbey Vidovich. He just looks so well graded here. He's not been at his absolute best in recent times, but he probably just drops a long way back in grade here, and despite drawing the widest gate through the preferential barrier draw in the race, I think he's going to be incredibly hard to beat. Generally, at his best, he is a horse that can be put into the race and do a little bit of work. He's not at his absolute best, but I just think in this company, he might be able to work forward there, be put up on speed somewhere, and if he is, I think he's going to be incredibly hard to beat in that race. The one to hold out late might be Cry Havoc, but he did look to get a little bit keen and did a few things wrong last start at Pinjarra, so I think if he does everything right, Law Publisher, he gets a good run, he's going to be hard to beat in that race. And then the race after, I thought, was a really good one, race 4 at Wagen. It's a good field here. A few horses in this race went around on Friday night last week. Atomic Field went around in the secondary meeting a couple of weeks ago, but Winegum, he was here last week, and he was a really good run there. He ran 4th. Was not far off. I think Cam's Boulder was the winner of that race, and he did a little bit of early work and just wasn't quite able to get across. And I think that just didn't really suit him there. I think he can be sat up and save for one run, and we might get a little bit better a price here. And I think there should be pretty solid speed on with the likes of Block Jog and Smoky Shadow and Atomic Feel. I think they might all be looking for forward positions in this race, and if they are, I think it could set it up perfectly for Winegum, who's shown this time he's quite a capable sprint type horse.
All right, that was race 4, number 5, Winegum, and the race before that, race 3, number 6, Law Publisher, and the name of the race is Scotty is the Better Twin. Mobile pace at Wagen, so good on you, Scotty, for being the better twin. Then we head to Sunday, where Oliver Cownie will be driving Matt Leppard, and it's going to be a big day at Central Wheatbelt on Sunday. Make sure you get there safe and home safe, Ollie. What do you got for us on the Sunday meeting? The first at 1:30.
I did say I'll go there once and maybe only once, but...
No, they'll get you back. Once you've been once, they'll get you back.
I mean, Emily and Michael have said the bar setup's actually really good there. Yeah. So once I do go there and have a couple of beers, not too many, I'll drink responsibly because I'll be the driver. But I think, I might be hooked and I might be going out there every couple of weeks.
No,
it's Michael's track
you
now.
Can Michael will go with you. He goes sometimes. You can go for
I'll pick you up on the way, right?
Could you? I'm hoping there's enough room with Matt Leppard.
Yeah.
And the rest. Anyway, what do you got for us?
I thought this card is actually a really good one, and it would have been a little bit better if we'd had our Thunder there, which we were hoping he'd be there, but he pulled up a little bit sore there on Tuesday, so unfortunately he won't be there, but Bobby Waterhouse will be, and hopefully he can back up his Friday win with a Calabaran win on Sunday, but I think he's probably going to go around a pretty short price favourite, so I won't tip him, but I do think he'll win in race 3. In race 5, I thought this was probably the best quality race of the whole card, and this horse might be going around at pretty short odds in He's a Vibe, but I do think he really does look the winner. He's got excellent gate speed. I think he can zip across. If he finds himself out in front there, I just find it hard to see anything running him down in this race. I think it's a pretty good field, but he's a nice horse and he's got very high speed and he's able to run pretty good times out in front there. The main danger does look to be High Sugar Rush, who's drawn the outside back row, but really it is quite a tough position to be in at Calabaran, so I'm hoping He's a Vibe can get on the front and be really hard to catch, and then potentially the next leg of a multi here at Calabaran could be in race 7 with She's a Lucky Penny, who was really good for Joseph Savalco, first up as trainer there last start, driven by Abby Vidovic, and ran third, but worked quite hard in the early stages to get across the lead and then to hold the lead, and really kicked away and just got a little bit tired late, but it was a good third, and I think here, just being fit, a third up from a spell should be really hard to catch if she's able to lead, and I think she'll get the job done, and hopefully that can be the second leg of our multi.
It's Joe's first ever horse as a trainer. Just
yeah,
having a look at the stats. Had the one start for him, so hopefully he can break through for a win as a trainer as well.
Well, if he does anything like the way he's been driving, he trains that way, then it's he's going to be a pretty good trainer, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yep.
no, that's Good luck to Joe on hopefully your breakthrough for your maiden training victory. All right, and then Albion Park Saturday night. There is 9 races. The first, as I said, at 3:40, and it's another relatively strong card.
It is, yeah. It's a good card, and I've gone
the
with...
free for all's a good race.
It's fantastic, and that's one of the races I'm looking at. Yeah, it's a really good quality card across the board, really. They've got good full fields there and quality horses, so it's great to see that post their sort of carnival time now that they've still got those numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, in race 4, they've got a horse here which will be targeting the Len Smith Mile in a week's time, to Speak the Truth, and he draws the inside here. So I think he's going to be incredibly hard to catch in this race. He's driven by Adam Sanderson here, but I think Nathan Dawson's going to take the drive in a week or so at Menangle, and I think Adam Sanderson will be driving Sure Thing Captain. So that'll be really interesting to see how they go there. But he'll be kicking off here, and I think given he's got the Len Smith Mile as a target, he's going to be incredibly hard to beat in a free-for-all here at Albion Park. I think the main danger potentially is the Janitor, who's also targeting.
He's a very good horse, the Janitor.
He is. He's a really high-quality horse, but
really
it's so hard to win from gate 7 over the mile at Albion Park when they're probably going to go 149, 150. So if he can win, he's going to be hard to beat in the Len Smith Mile, the Janitor. But I'm happy to be with Speak the Truth here, and then the barrier draws might determine who comes out on top in a week's time at Menangle.
Yeah.
Speak the Truth was the horse that was aimed at the Eureka last year and went a miss.
They've got 2 of them, Speak the Truth and I keep on getting them mixed up. I keep on getting them mixed up. He might have raced in it.
I think Sure Thing Captain went around on the night last year. I don't think he made the final field.
I thought Speak the Truth went a miss.
Speak the Truth went around the Len Smith Mile last year, and he went in. I think he was in the Eureka the year before.
Right.
But he was there on the day.
Yep.
He was there on the day.
I think Speak the Truth, he won the Hayden leading up to the Eureka, and he got in that way. He beat Captain Shuffles in Queensland, and I think he sat outside of him to get through, and then he ran about 5th in the Eureka.
He's a year older than Sure Thing Captain, and Sure Thing Captain went around in the Eureka.
And I think he got a bit fired up, Sure Thing Captain, and that was his undoing. But he's a really nice horse as well.
Yeah, but they're both nice horses coming through, both well bred, as most of the price horses are.
Yeah.
And both made the Inter-Dominion final this year. But yeah, there's a year difference. Sort of sometimes you've got to which one's which because they profile pretty similar as well.
Yeah, I think Sure Thing Captain, he's got brilliant speed, like really, really high speed. Probably he's the one that could be one of those really top-end Grand Circuit horses, but he's not really a staying type. So it's more of a miler sort of thing where I speak the truth. He's a sort of more of a grinding, well, at that level, he's a grinding type, and he'll run all day and he'll run the same sectionals. And I think if he's out in front there on Saturday night, he'll probably be rolling along a pretty even tempo.
Good race, very good race.
Good. And speaking of the Eureka, I think 6 have been cemented in, and there's a number of 3-year-olds. But there's still 4 to come, and 2 of them will probably be with Emma Stewart, because Danny Zav's got one and Summit's got one, so they're Emma Stewart stables, and Kevin Seymour's got his to come. So it'd be interesting to see what happens. Last week, Wayne Loader announced that he's taking Fader Waits from Grant Dixon.
It might have been a little bit of a premature selection. I think
then he got beat. He got beaten like half an hour before,
and he got beaten by a horse
comfortably.
Final deadline smashed him, and he's sat outside them. So he had a tough run, but I just don't really think he's the quality of horse that's going to be able to sort of
tough for 3-year-olds coming through as well. But anyway, Bay of Biscay's in there.
My key to success is probably the one that'll be really hard speed if it gets a run.
Yeah,
it was awesome. Yeah,
Bay of Biscay got beaten a free for all. Catch a Wave went 25 something its last quarter, which is off the planet. And the other one is Fighter Command. They're the 2 4-year-olds, and they're probably the ones to beat. Although Luke's pretty keen on Hesitate, who's another 3-year-old. But yeah, it's got to be an interesting race.
I think it might come down to whichever 3-year-old is able to get that really soft run on the back of one of the 4-year-olds, or because I think there's a lot of 3-year-olds which are probably sit sprint types, which I know Fader Waits and Hesitate, they're sit sprint types, so they can't really probably dictate or take luck into their own hands.
Yeah, so it's got to be interesting in the next couple, because there's probably got to be at least two 3-year-olds. Maybe 3 in the last 4. So normally it's been dominated by 4-year-olds. Last year there was 1 3-year-old in Bay of Biscay.
Yeah.
This year I think it's just the way that I don't think the 4-year-olds this year are as good a crop as they have been.
And it was the first year that a 3-year-old, I think, had taken out
the
Rising Sun.
The Rising Sun,
And it was Fader Waits who was able to win leaders back, got a perfect trip though, and sort of everything panned out quite well for him.
I just don't think the 4-year-olds are as good as the previous 4-year-olds, and I think that's across Australia as well. Like, it's not. I think our 4-year-old crop the year before that, Never Ending Crop, is just outstanding with Mr. Smarty and all that. We're about to see them all come back, but but it is interesting to see. That's got to be. We've got W night on the Friday night, and then we roll into the Eureka night and then Len Smith Mile. Len Smith Mile's got to be a cracking race as well.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Swayze's back. He trialled the other day. He's got to go around the Len Smith Mile.
Got the what is he, 11 or 12 Max Delight?
Yeah, Max Delight. Yeah, he's winning everything. Good on Will Rickson. Will Rickson winning everything in Sydney at the moment. Jeez, he's going good, Will.
He's flying.
Yeah, so anyway, it's a good bit of racing over the east, and we're going to next week, but obviously one of our big nights next Friday night, the W night. I know you're going to be here, Morts, and your team.
And should be a great night.
It's good. It's also good when you've got a chance in one of them as well.
Oh, of course.
Ramps it up. But,
of course. But it's just good just to have, just a real suite of top races.
Yeah.
On the one night.
Yeah.
Quite often you might get 2 or 3, but this is like the whole night's going to be.
No, we've built up, and now the 4-year-olds on this year. Last year the 4-year-olds was a little bit earlier. Yeah. Now it goes into that night. So we've got
fantastic.
We've got 2 $200,000 races, 4 $100,000 races. Yeah. Plus we've got to have a free for all West Bred, which Ronaldo hopefully might go around in, a few others, so. And plus maybe a consolation or 2, which would be really good. So looking forward to W night. As I said, free entry, DJ, food trucks. It's all happening. $9 pints. It's all happening.
JPs,
all happening. All right. Ollie, thanks for your time. Really appreciate it.
Enjoyed coming on. Thanks very much, guys.
Good luck.
thank
Good
you,
luck
Ollie.
with the barrier draws on Monday. We might even call in and be part of it with you. Looking forward to those all important barrier draws Monday morning, 9 o'clock off the pace.
Off and pacing.
Yeah. With Ollie and Matt. And thanks to Bomber. Really enjoyed our guests tonight.
They were terrific. I enjoyed the Big Cat. Glad I didn't ask him why they call him the Big Cat. But no, it was good just to have a chat with him about his horses and thoughts on the handicapping system and his punting. And Bob Mellsop, he's just
really
terrific.
Good. Yeah, really good.
Terrific.
Right. No runners for you this week. Unusual.
No, night off, Michael.
Night off?
Night off, which is not a bad thing.
But you'll be back for W night the week after.
Yes, I'm going to do
some.
I'll be prepping tomorrow night, getting ready for the following Friday.
Yeah, because you'll have one in the 3-year-old fillies, 3-year-old boys, and 2-year-old boys.
Yep, so busy night.
Good on you. All right. Yep. Thanks for your time. Thanks to Bomber. I don't know whether I mentioned Bomber.
You did.
Thanks to Ollie, as I said. Thanks for your company.
Thanks to Amelia.
Thanks to Amelia for staying awake.
Yeah.
Until next week, it's bye for now.
You are listening to Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
Talking Trots for Snooze, Cannington and Coburn. It's amazing what a little snooze can do.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelpline.org.au.